Silence versus the world's noise. The greatest things are accomplished in silence, not in the clamor and display of superficial eventfulness, but in the deep clarity of inner vision, in the almost imperceptible start of decision, in quiet overcoming and hidden sacrifice. Spiritual conception happens when the heart is quickened by love and the free will stirs to action. The silent forces are the strong forces. Let us turn now to the stillest event of all. Stillest because it came from the remoteness beyond the noise of any possible intrusion from God. Romano Guardini, the Lord. Nicolas Diat says in the anthology Voix Carthusienne, the Carthusian Dom Augustin Guillerin correctly writes that solitude and silence are guests of the soul. The soul that possesses them carries them with it everywhere. The one that lacks them finds them nowhere. In order to re-enter silence, it is not enough to stop the movement of one's lips and the movement of one's thoughts. That is only being quiet. Being quiet is a condition for silence, but it is not silence. Silence is a word. Silence is a thought. It is a word and a thought in which all words and all thoughts are concentrated. How are we to understand this beautiful idea? Robert Cardinal Sarah says, "There is one great question. How can man really be in the image of God? He must enter into silence. When he drapes himself in silence, as God himself dwells in a great silence, man is close to heaven, or rather, he allows God to manifest himself in him. We encounter God only in the eternal silence in which he abides. Have you ever heard the voice of God as you hear mine?" God's voice is silent. Indeed, man too must seek to become silence. In speaking about Adam in paradise, St. Augustine wrote, "Vivebat fruens Deo, ex quo bono erat bonus," which in English is, "He lived in the joy of God, and by virtue of this good he himself was good." By living with the silent God and in him, we ourselves become silent. In his book, I Want to See God, Father Marie Eugène de l'Enfant Jésus writes, "God speaks in silence, and silence alone seems able to express him. For the spiritual person who has known the touch of God, silence and God seem to be identified. And so, to find God again, where would he go, if not to the most silent depths of his soul, into those regions that are so hidden that nothing can any longer disturb them? When he has reached there, he preserves with jealous care the silence that gives him God. He defends it against any agitation, even that of his own powers." That was part one of the book, The Power of Silence.